Hi friends, welcome to our AIMS Today YouTube channel. In today's IIT JEE NEET Foundation class, from physics subject, measurement topic we are going to continue. Suppose you went out for shopping on one fine day. So you went to a cloth store, you want to buy a shirt piece. Please give me white color shirt cloth. Like that you have asked, how much cloth do you want? Shopkeeper questioned you. I want 2 meter. Like that you might have answered. Then you went to a bakery you want to buy some chocolates. Please give me Dairy Milk chocolates. Like that you have asked. How many chocolates do you want? He questioned you. I want 3 chocolates. Like that you might have answered. So if you observe here you will come across some questions like how much or how many. For that, how much and how many, for these kind of questions, you will also get some answers like 2 meter, 3 chocolates, like that answers you will get. So here, this is called as a quantity. Means the size of the object, the amount of the object, or the magnitude of the object which you want to buy. So that is called as a quantity. Or the answers for questions like how much or how many, that answer will be considered as a quantity. So this quantity is very important term in the topic measurement. So before proceeding further into measurement, first of all we have to understand what a quantity is. So then, what is a physical quantity? So any quantity which can be measured and expressed in terms of number is called a physical quantity. So in the previous slide we have observed. So we want to buy a cloth, and how much cloth we want to buy? 2 meter. So the length of the cloth is 2 meter. So the length of the cloth we are able to measure, and we are able to write it in terms of numbers like 2 meters, like 2. So that length is considered as a physical quantity. So here length, area, volume, speed. Force means for moving an object we make use of force, that quantity. Energy, while doing any kind of work we need of energy. So here all these are types of physical quantities, because these all can be measured in terms of a number. So here length of a room, it's one-dimensional quantity, we can measure it. Area of the room means it consists of length and breadth, it's a two-dimensional quantity. Volume, suppose if anybody asks this room is filled with how much air, then we have to calculate its volume. Length, breadth, height, 3 we have to consider. It's a three-dimensional quantity. So all these things can be measured in terms of numbers. So they are all considered as physical quantities. So these physical quantities, they can be measured in various systems. In olden days, we have a system like FPS, where foot stands for length, pound stands for mass, second stands for time. Means length is used to measure in foots, mass is used to measure in pounds, and time is used to measure in seconds. So that system is used to known as FPS system. CGS system, centimeter, gram, second. MK system, meter, kilogram, second. These 3 were the old systems. In olden days, the people used to measure in different countries the physical quantities with the help of these 3 systems and these units. So about details regarding these systems we will learn in our next video. Right now we have SI system, international system, which is abbreviated as SI system, which is a modified form of MK system. In all over the world we are making use of SI system for measuring the physical quantities right now. So what do you mean by unit? Just now we have seen so many things like foot, pound, second, centimeter, gram, second. So these are all considered as units. Now the question is, what do you mean by a unit. So a standard value, it's a standard value which is used to measure a physical quantity, and that standard value is called unit. Just now in the previous slide we have measured the cloth. We have told the shopkeeper we want 2 meters of cloth. We want 2 meters of cloth. While telling along with the number 2, we are also making use of another value, another standard value called meter. Another standard value called meter, so that the shopkeeper will get complete clarification regarding the object. So this standard value meter is called as unit. So here, how to define a unit? Now we have told meter is a unit, but why they have taken meter? So what features it has, that we have to know. So any unit or any standard value, before choosing it as a standard value, it should follow some characteristics, and in that features, the first one is it should be well defined. So this is very, very important. It should be well defined. Suppose I want to measure length of a room. In the room I have 2 persons are there. So they want to measure the length of the room with their foot span. So first person, he measured the room, it is around 10 foot spans. Second person, he measured the room, it is around 12 foot spans. So is the unit or is the value foot span, is it well defined? Because with one person it is coming around 10 foot spans. When other person measures means it is coming around 12 foot spans. So it is not well defined. So when we are choosing a unit, it should be well defined and it should not be like that foot span. So a unit should be of convenient size. Suppose I want to measure the distance between Hyderabad and Kurnool. With the help of hand span, I want to measure the distance. Is it possible? Because Hyderabad to Kurnool, somewhere around 200 kilometers. The 200 kilometers we cannot measure with a value like foot hand span. It's highly impossible. So that's why they have taken a unit of kilometer. So for measuring large distances, they have chosen a standard value like kilometer, so that we can measure the distance between Hyderabad and Kurnool easily. So whatever unit we are choosing, it should be of convenient size. That is one thing. Next, it should be consistent. It should not varying with time and space. Suppose I want to measure the height of a tower, and I have measured it with a cubit. So after 5 years, I came again, and again I measured the height of a tower with the same cubit. Will it be the same at the both times? No, because the person's height will increase. The person's height will increase from childhood to up to certain age. Because a small boy measured the height of a tower with the cubit. After 10 years, he come back and measure the same height of the tower with cubit. Both the values are not same, because the cubit value changes from time to time. So that's why this cubit is not consistent. But whatever unit we are choosing, it should be of consistent size. It should not be like cubit. Reproducible. It should be produced again. Suppose we want to measure perimeter of a Charminar. So with the arm span, we are measuring. So one officer came there, he want to measure the perimeter of a Charminar. He take the help of one of his employees. With his arm spans, he measured the perimeter of the Charminar. Or he want to arrange some fencing to the Charminar. For that he want to measure perimeter with the arm span. Later he went to the shop. He want to buy the material required for the fencing. He called that employee with whom he measured the perimeter of the Charminar. That employee is not available. So this arm span, it is not reliable, or it is not reproducible. So we should make use of units that are reproducible to be produced again, to be used again at any place, at any circumstances. So it should be easily available for usage. So while defining a unit, we have to follow all these things. We have to keep all these things in mind, and it has to follow all these features. So we should not depend on quantities like units like foot span, cubit, arm span, because these are not well defined. They are of not convenient size. They will vary with time to time. They cannot be reproduced again. So that's why we won't choose them as standard values. Now we have units like kilogram, meter, second, like these units we have. So these are all units are considered as standard units because they follow all the above features. So actually this unit is not a name, it's a value. So all algebraic operations are possible with the units. Now we have 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So with the numbers, the algebraic operation is possible. In the same way, suppose if we have meter plus meter is equal to, we can write it as 2 meter. We can write it as 2 meter. Meter plus meter equal to 2 meter. Or centimeter into centimeter, centimeter square. Like numbers, for the units also all kinds of algebraic operations are possible. So we will continue the topic in our next video. See what is a fundamental quantity. So the physical quantities which are independent means they exist by their own and can't be derived from other physical quantities. So they are called as fundamental quantities. So means they are such kind of quantities which can exist by their own without depending on other physical quantities. So they are the base quantities. They are the base quantities from which all other can be derived. They won't depend on any other. So that's why they are also called as base quantities. So mainly we have 3 types of base quantities or fundamental quantities. So they are length. So if I want to measure distance between two places, only the quantity length is enough. No need of weight, no need of time, no need of other quantities. So it is an example of base quantities. In the same way, measurement of mass, it is also one of the base quantity. Time. So these 3 are considered as main base quantities, main fundamental quantities. Based on them, all the other quantities will be derived. Next, fundamental units. So the units of fundamental quantities are called fundamental units or base units, because if a quantity is there, or if I want to measure distance between two places, I can measure with the help of length. Length is a quantity, but for measuring length, I need a known unit. I need a already proved or already known unit, so that with that unit I can compare the distance between the two places. So the fundamental units, in some of the old systems, they are defined as follows. So in FPS system, which was proposed by William Stroud, it is also known as British system, the length, the quantity length was measured in foot, mass in pounds, time in second. So foot, pound, second. This was the system followed by the British people, mainly British people. So that's why it is called British system. So FPS system at the time of 1881. So next, there was one more system called CGS. So proposed by Friedrich Gauss. That's why it is also called as Gauss system. So around 1832. So in this system, the unit for length is centimeter and mass is gram and time is second. So next, there was another system, MKS. So proposed by Georgi. It was also known as metric system. So in that, the unit of length is meter, mass is kilogram, and time is second. So out of all these three systems, this MKS system was the popular system, which was proposed around 1889. So here, length, mass, time are the fundamental quantities, but these quantities in different systems, they are having different units except time. The unit of time in all the systems is same, it's second, and the symbol for second is S. So next, International System of Units. So later on, our scientists, they have recognized that this MK system or whatever all the systems they have proposed, they are not enough to describe all the available physical quantities in the nature. So that's why they have proposed one more system called International System of Units, abbreviated as SI. It is the modern form of metric system. That means MK system. So there in that system, along with the existing three physical quantities, length, mass, and time, they have added some more quantities like electric current, temperature, amount of substance, luminescent intensity as the base quantities. So they have identified that there is a need of some more base physical quantities. So that's why they have modified the MKS system and proposed a new system called SI system. So it is the official system followed by nearly every country in the world. So this was published around 1960. So according to this system, there are, along with the four more base quantities are added. So altogether there are 7 base quantities. So already we know length measured in meter, mass in kilograms, time in seconds. So like that, electric current also they have defined. So which is measured in amperes, and the symbol of unit is capital A. Temperature, thermodynamic temperature, its unit is Kelvin. Amount of substance, its unit is mole, and the symbol of mole is MOL. Here we have to keep in mind the unit name is mole, but the symbol is MOL. Here E is not there. We have to observe that while mentioning the name and while mentioning the symbol, we should be careful. And luminous intensity means light intensity. Its unit is candela. Its symbol is CD. So like that, along with the three, they have proposed 4 more quantities like electric current, thermodynamic temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. So this circle diagram, it depicts the symbol of units in SI system. M for mass, S for second, A for ampere, K for Kelvin, MOL for mole, CD for candela, kg for kilogram. So like that, now everywhere all over the countries, they are following the International System of Units. Next. So still our scientists identified that there is need of some more quantities related to angles. So they are considered as supplementary quantities. So along with the 7 base quantities, they have recognized the need of 2 more angular quantities which are considered as supplementary quantities. So there one is plane angle, another one is solid angle. One quantity is plane angle, another quantity is solid angle. So they are also called as angular quantities as they deal with angles. So the units of supplementary quantities are called supplementary units or angular units. So it is a dimensionless unit. Regarding that, we will learn later. It is a dimensionless unit. It is employed with fundamental units. So to create other quantities called derived units. So up to 1995, the SI system classified radian, means the unit of plane angle is radian, steradian, the unit of solid angle, steradian. Up to 1995, these two units were considered as supplementary units, but this designation was abandoned. Now the units are grouped under derived units. Let's see the definition of this radian and steradian. So supplementary quantities are units. Plane angle. So the unit for plane angle is radian and the symbol is RAD. Means radian is the angle between two radii of a circle. Suppose if I assume one circle here, if I assume one circle here, and if this is one radius and this is second radius, the angle between the two radii, is considered as radian. Angle between the two radii is considered as radian. So what it will do? This will cut off an arc. This will cut off an arc. This arc. This angle will cut the circle through the circumference of this arc. Which is equal to, this circumference of arc is equal to radius of the circle. In such a way, if it cuts the circumference, so then it is called as plane angle. So it is a plane angle. So the symbol is, unit name is radian and the symbol is RAD. Next, solid angle. Another quantity name is solid angle. Its unit name is steradian. Symbol is SR. So it exists in solid shapes. The plane angle exists for plane shapes. The solid angle exists for solid shapes. So having its vertex in the center of the sphere. Now this point is called actually vertex. So this is for a plane shape. For the circle also, inside the circle at the center of the, for the sphere also, inside the sphere at the center of the sphere, this solid angle vertex will exist. From there, in all directions, if we take a part in all directions like this, if we draw radius, and this part formed by the combination of all the radii, if we take out this part, so then it cuts off an area of the surface of the sphere. It cuts off an area of the surface of the sphere. We are taking this part out. So then it cuts off the surface of the sphere with an area equal to the square, equal to the area of the square, whose length is equal to the radius of the sphere. Now I am cutting off this part. Now we are cutting off this part. We are taking some surface. Out of the sphere, such that whose vertex is formed at the center. If that part we will take it out, then it will cover some area, some surface area, which is equal to the area of the square, whose length is equal to the radius of the sphere. So that is solid angle. So in this way we have two units, like radian and steradian, who are considered as supplementary units. In this video, when a physical quantity expresses itself in terms of two or more other fundamental physical quantities, so then it is considered as a derived physical quantity. Means some of the physical quantities, they do not exist by their own. They need the help of other physical quantities for defining them. So such quantities are considered as derived physical quantities. How they are derived? They are derived either by multiplying or dividing or powering one basic physical quantity with other physical quantity. So after the mathematical operation, so whatever we are getting, the result we are getting, that will be considered as a derived quantity. Suppose if you want to measure the area of a room, how can we measure area of a room? With the help of the formula, either length into length or length into breadth. Means the quantity area, here the quantity area is depending on other quantities length and length for its complete description. So it does not exist by its own. It has to take the help of other physical quantities. So these kind of quantities are considered as derived quantities. So actually all these derived quantities and the units, they are mentioned in International System of Quantities, ISQ. So this was officialized by International Organization for Standardization, ISO. So the ISO has prescribed some of the quantities and officialized them under the name of ISQ. So there we will come across all the names of these derived quantities and their units. So derived units. So these are all derived quantities, and the symbol for derived quantities, their formula, and the derived unit. So actually the derived units are the units derived from 7 base quantities. 7 base quantities specified by the International System of Units, SI. So all these derived units, whatever we are observing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are all derived from the 7 base units as prescribed in the SI system. So they may have dimensions or they are dimensionless. They can be expressed as a product. They can be expressed as a product. Here, if you observe here, kg meter square, it means that kg into meter square, product of kg and meter square. They can be expressed as either product or quotient. Here you can observe meter per second, which is a quotient, or quotient, or scaled by an appropriate power of exponentiation, or they can be expressed as powers. So like this, whatever derived units are there, they can be expressed as the products or as the quotients or as the exponents. So like that, we can express them. So like this, the SI system has mainly 22 derived units, special names for 22 derived units. Remaining all, they are the combination of all these 22 derived units. If you take a derived quantity like area, what is the symbol for area? A. What is its formula? Length into width. Or in the place of width, we can take length. The unit of length is meter. The unit of width also meter. Product of meter into meter, it will become meter square. So meter square is the unit of area. As meter square is depending on two basic units. So it is considered as a derived unit. In the same way, if you take the quantity like volume of room, length into breadth into height, or length into width into height. So meter into meter into meter. We can express it as meter cube. Or density of any object, density of water, density of cotton, like that, density of any object. Its formula is mass by volume. The unit of mass is a fundamental quantity. The unit of mass is kg. Here volume is a derived quantity. It's with that formula already we know, meter cube. So we can write it as a kg per meter cube. It's not compulsory that a derived quantity always depends on fundamental quantity. It may be a combination of fundamental quantity and derived quantity, like this in the case of density or velocity. What is the formula of velocity? Distance by time. The unit of distance is meter and that of time is second. So meter per second is the derived unit of velocity. Or acceleration means increase of speed or decrease of speed, or increase of velocity or decrease of velocity, or change of velocity by time. The formula is change of velocity by time. We can express it as meter per second square. Why means the unit of velocity is meter per second, m by s. Again, they are asking, they have given in the formula by time. Means by s one more time we have to keep. Meter per second. It will become meter per second square. In the same way, work means force into displacement. For that also we will have derived unit. Thank you. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for latest updates.